We've seen hopes of dramatic endings being diminished thanks to brave defenses. We've seen unfancied contestants displaying fine form over more fancied contestants. And we've seen how just one question can be the judge, jury, and executioner. Is there anything we're yet to witness? Who knows? Let's find out. Welcome to the search for one last piece of the jigsaw puzzle, one last hurrah, one last regional winner at the BusinessLine Cerebration 2022. It's India's premier corporate quiz championship, and this year, in its 19th edition, we're putting one foot in each format, online and offline. The preliminaries and the regional finals took place online, while the national final takes place in Mumbai. And taking you through this journey is me, your quizmaster Ajay Punya. When we began this season, we began with a 10-day long preliminary round where over 6,000 corporate executives, business professionals, B school students, and MBA aspirants participated from all over India. The top 6 performers from each of the 6 regions were then invited to participate in a regional final, which also took place online. And from the regional final, the winner travels to Mumbai for the national final. This today is the end game for those 6 regions, and these regional finalists are competing for a strong chance to win the most coveted intellectual title and to win prizes worth rupees 1.5 lakhs. The national champion takes home rupees 75,000. The first runner-up gets rupees 50,000, and the second runner-up wins rupees 25,000. That's a big money pot. Fighting for it are the regional finalists from a city that is a melting pot of cultures, a city always on the move, a city that is the most welcoming. Come on board, we'll adjust, they say. It's Mumbai. Their versions of success will have very different approaches, but one thing is common, the desire to succeed. Winner of Mumbai last year, agonizingly missing out on the tiebreaker to be on the podium in the national final. He is back, and he is Shantanu Sharma from Avid Learning. Following him is participant 2 is Pattabhiraman from HCL Technologies. He was in Chennai last year as a student where he finished runner-up, and so he's experienced the pain of falling short. As participant 3 is Pranav Hari from Boston Consulting Group. Next up is the only student represent today is Lucky Call from IIM Ahmedabad. Following him is another Mumbai finalist from last year with renewed belief. This is Sai Karthik from Axis Bank. And finally, completing the lineup here at Mumbai is Anirudh Datta from TCS. All right, then, participants, good luck to you. There are awards, both tangible and intangible, that await our winner, and there can only be one winner, the one with the most points at the end of it all. We'll get to the points distribution exercise, but before that, let's hear from Mr. Raghuveer Srinivasan, editor, BusinessLine, who would like to address all of you. Sir, please.
Hello, everyone. BusinessLine is back with the 19th edition of Cerebration Quiz, one of India's biggest corporate quiz championships. After the overwhelming response we got last year, this year has been even better. And we got excellent entries across our major cities. BusinessLine, as you know, is India's leading financial newspaper. It's known for its depth and its intellectual sharpness, which is reflected in the Cerebration Quiz. The Cerebration Quiz is open to business professionals, corporate executives, MBA aspirants, and students from India's top-notch B schools. The prelims received an overwhelming response of more than 6,000 participants taking the quiz, and out of which 6 individuals from each city of Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kochi, Mumbai, and New Delhi will now battle it out to qualify for the grand finale. The top 6 contestants from each city will compete in the virtual regional finals from July 31 to August 15th. Winners of the regional finals from 6 cities will battle it out for the coveted title at a in-person on-ground event in Mumbai. The winners will take home handsome prize money worth up to 1.5 lakhs. And apart from, of course, the recognition of being Cerebration winners of the BusinessLine quiz. I wish you all the very best and look forward to seeing the participants in the rounds that happens in the cities. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Now an acknowledgement and appreciation for our partners at BusinessLine Cerebration 2022. The title sponsor, Union Bank of India. It's powered by Manage Engine. Writing instruments partner is Parker Pen by Luxor Group and associate sponsor, Gray On. Thank you to each one of you. Now I would request Mr. Manoj Kumar, Field General Manager, Union Bank of India, Mumbai, to take the stage and address our participants.
Hi everyone, I'm Manoj Kumar, Field General Manager, Mumbai, Union Bank of India. UBI is 103 years old organization. It is one of the largest government-owned bank. We are having around 8,850 plus branches across India and a customer base of around 120 millions. We are having 3 overseas branches and 1 subsidiary at London also. We are known for inclusive, responsive and responsible banking through customer-centric products and business models. We are a next generation digitally savvy bank. We are having one super app known as UNext, which can cater to all your banking needs, mobile banking at your hand. Secondly, we are having one beautiful app for forex related transactions, also TradeMix. You can do all the forex related transactions from the comfort of your home or your office. Recently, we have also adopted Universe, the metaverse virtual launch of the bank, where you can get a glimpses of the products of the bank. We are also launched an open banking sandbox also, where fintechs and all those companies, startups can share their unique ideas, things like that. Union Bank is proud to be associated with this BusinessLine Celebration Corporate Quiz 2022. You all know Hindu Group is a very authoritative and authentic business group and they command good reputation in the market. So it is a great opportunity for us to be inclusive with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, then the bridge between Mumbai, the regional and national final respectively, is 4 rounds long. You drive through it by hitting the buzzer and answering the questions correctly. History has shown the value of each and every point on the back of a series of epic regional final fights. And so on this Independence Day evening, we hit the ground running with round 1. Round 1 is called serious or joking. I will be giving you 5 statements on the buzzer. You'll have 10 seconds of time within which you must hit the buzzer if and only if you think I'm joking with the given statement. All right, so good luck, everyone. 5 statements, one after the other coming. Remember, only the first 3 in the order of you pressing the buzzer gets to give a reason as to why you did that. However, you don't have to press the buzzer if you don't think that the given statement is a joke. Sorry, if you don't think that Okay, double negative. I got confused myself. If you think that the given statement is joke, press the buzzer. If not, don't press the buzzer. All right, here's my first statement common to everyone. Located in the Windsor Square area of Mumbai, would you find the statue of the Make in India lion that was inaugurated by the state's chief minister last year? Only press the buzzer if you think it's a joke. Right, 2 seconds remain. And your time is up. So we have 2, 6, 3, 4, and 5 hitting the buzzer. So I'll ask Pattabhiraman, since he hit the buzzer first, why did you press the buzzer?
This is a joke because Windsor Square area of Bombay, that's incorrect.
Okay, how can you correct it?
It's probably a different location somewhere.
All right, no answer there. So I'll move on to the next one on the buzzer, and that's Anirudh.
I think it's near the Bombay Stock Exchange area of Mumbai, probably. It's in South Mumbai.
And not in Windsor Square.
It's not in Windsor Square.
Okay, that's not the reason. Moving on to Pranav.
Yeah, so since they all guessed the area, I'm going to guess that it was not inaugurated by the chief minister. Instead, it was inaugurated by the prime minister.
Not the state's chief minister, but by the prime minister. I'm afraid neither one of you got the reasoning correct. However, you have got the fact that it's false, correct? But the reason is because there is no, there exists a Make in India lion statue, which I showed. It does exist in Windsor Square area, but not of Mumbai, but in Bengaluru.
Yeah, that's not.
So, this is in Bengaluru, not in Mumbai. So well done, all 5 of you except Shantanu. Everyone went for it on the buzzer, which means all 5 of you except participant 1, that's Shantanu, get 5 points each. But since nobody gave me a correct reasoning, so nobody gets bonus for that. But 5 points to everyone, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, except Shantanu. All right, we'll move on. To celebrate 120 years of the company, Harley-Davidson sent its lead for rides and community and senior engineer of product development to the South Pole in December 2021. Only press the buzzer if you think it's a joke. Do not press the buzzer. Wait 2 seconds. Right, time's up. There's only Pattabhiraman who's on the buzzer. What was your reason? There's nobody else on the buzzer.
Okay, that's definitely not a Harley-Davidson bike. It doesn't look like a Harley-Davidson, so that's a joke.
But do you want to correct it? You did the same thing last time. Don't just say, I don't like it.
So it's a different bike company, let's say BMW or Yamaha. So yeah,
Pick one. You can't hedge your bets by picking everything.
Yamaha, sure. Okay.
Sorry, what did you say?
Yamaha.
Okay. All right. That's not the reason. The answer that I was looking for. Well, Pattabhiraman, you are right about the fact that it's not Harley-Davidson.
Okay.
But you're not obviously correct about the reasoning, although you weren't very convinced yourself. The reasoning is because this is Royal Enfield. Right? So that's Royal Enfield completing 120 years.
Okay. Sure.
So which is why it wasn't Harley-Davidson. You had to say Royal Enfield to correct it. My reminder to participants, if you don't like the given statement, don't just say, I don't like it. Say more than that. Say,
definitely knew it was not a Harley-Davidson bike, so that far I was sure.
Pick something. No.
So,
sure. In exchange, just pick something. Right?
Okay, sure.
Don't just say not this. Just say, if not this, then what? Okay. Anyway, but that's well done, Pattabhiraman. You got it right. The only one who got it right, which means you get a big 9-pointer there. Right. Very well done. The only one who gets a 9 for that. On the back of the 5 you got the last time. We'll move on to the next one. Here's number 3. The partition theory, which represents the number of possible partitions of a non-negative integer, most commonly used in arranging the correct money to be dispensed by an ATM, was provided by John Nash. Five seconds. And your time is up. We have 2, 5, 3, 1. And Lucky pressing the buzzer. So 2, 5, 3, 1, and 4 pressing the buzzer, which means it's only Anirudh who hasn't pressed the buzzer. I'll ask Pattabhiraman, what's your reason?
John Nash did not do the partition theory. Let's go with John Keynes, John Maynard Keynes probably, but it does not
Keynes,
visit Nash.
okay. That's not correct. I'll move on to the next one. That's Sai Karthik.
I think it's not John Nash, it is George Shepard or something like not Shepard.
Okay,
the
that
ATM.
is not the answer. I will move on to Pranav. That's not the correct reasoning.
Okay. I'm going to say instead of an ATM, he was talking about say a chocolate vending machine or something.
A vending machine and not an ATM.
Yeah.
All right. Neither one of you got the reasoning correct because the correct reasoning was Srinivas Ramanujan. Closer home. Right. So this was Srinivas Ramanujan who gave the partition theory, which is what ATM machines use in the back end or inside the machine to essentially sort the notes when you ask for something. All right. That's the answer that I was looking for. That's well done. All 5 of you except Anirudh. All of you get 5 points each. So all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 of you get 5 points each. And this question was brought to you by Writing Instruments partner, Parker Pen by Luxor Group. And they'd love to see so many points being awarded on this one. Let's move on to our penultimate question, number 4. Founded in 1920, Bernard Madoff's company was called SEC, or Securities Exchange Company, with a guarantee of 50% profit in 45 days. Three seconds. And the time is up. 2, 4, 3, 1, and 6, which means it's only Sai Karthik who hasn't hit the buzzer. So I'll ask Pattabhiraman again, who went for it first. What's your reason?
I don't know which part to say it is wrong, but I don't think Bernie Madoff founded a company in 1920.
And that's it. Okay, not the reason I was looking for. We'll move on to Lucky.
Yeah, I think this is Charles Ponzi and not Bernard Madoff. Madoff would have been much later. So probably Charles Ponzi.
Yeah.
That should be the correction.
Is correct. Finally, I have the right reason coming in, and he was also right. Lucky was also right about the fact that Madoff came in later. I think Madoff was born sometime in the 1930s, so it couldn't have been 1920s. Ponzi, however, Madoff was inspired by Ponzi to create one of his own financial instruments. But we won't get into that. That's the answer that I was looking for. Well done there, Lucky, and well done all of you except Sai Karthik for hitting the buzzer on this one. All of you get 5 points each except participant number 5. And Lucky, on top of that 5, you get another bonus. So that's a 10er for Lucky, 5 for everybody else except Sai Karthik. We'll move on. It's turning out to be a fairly high scoring round as of now. Let me not jinx it. We'll move on to the final one. Until Gordon Selfridge opened Selfridges & Co. on Oxford Street in London in 1909, with the bold step to not only openly sell cosmetics, but to actually display them and to encourage women to test and enjoy shopping for them, beauty counters were generally hidden from view and in certain places had concealed backdoor entrances for an elite clientele. Three seconds remain. So this time there's only Sai Karthik who's on the buzzer. Sai, what's your reason?
So I think it's not Selfridges. So
what should it be?
Sure about it, yeah.
Okay, you don't have any replacement for that.
Yeah.
There's nobody else after you on the buzzer. We'll take a look at the answer. The answer that I was looking for is true. So Sai Karthik went against the direction that all the others took in the previous question and also this question, and both the times he missed out. This one was true, and because Sai Karthik hit the buzzer, which means all the rest of you get 5 points each. That's except Sai Karthik, everybody else gets 5 points each. So that is indeed correct. It was Selfridges that actually opened up a cosmetic section inside, in the open inside the store. Till before that, like I said in the question, beauty counters were generally hidden, or there was separate backdoor entry for cosmetics and all that. Right. So On that question where everybody but one participant scored 5 points, we come to the end of round 1. This question was brought to you by our associate sponsor, Grey On. So I gave them chance after chance after chance, and they accepted them gleefully, yet not in equal measure. So we'll see who takes the first question in round 2, and for that they'll have to be placed on top of the scoreboard, but that's after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to taking a look at the scoreboard here at the Mumbai regional final. It's been a very high scoring round when comparing with some of the other ones that we did in other regional rounds, but at this point we have Sai Karthik, who's currently trailing. He's at 6th spot with a score of 10. Then in joint 4th are Shantanu and Anirudh, both of them at 15 each. Then in 3rd place right now is Pranav Hari at 20. Then in 2nd place is Lucky Call from IIM Ahmedabad at 25, and currently leading with scoring points on all questions is Pattabhiraman from HCL with 29. But it's still early days in this quiz. We will move on to our second round. It was very important for us to have some differentiation on scores after the end of round 1, because the next round is entirely based on the basis of the scores that you've achieved till now. Let's move on. This round is called paired impaired. I will be pairing you up on the basis of your scores, and others are on the buzzer. Lucky, if you can unmute.
Yeah.
That's my question, Pattabhiraman. Others on the buzzer. Anirudh, can I see your buzzer? Yeah, please. Thanks. Here's my question. From Harvard Business Review, while media coverage of corporate social responsibility activities affect a company's chances of success, CSI, such as the use of child labor and polluting facilities, greatly reduces the odds of success. For 2 otherwise similar companies, the chances of completing a deal were 12 percentage points lower for one with same press coverage of CSI activities than for one without any. My question is, please expand CSR. So CSR is corporate social responsibility. What is CSR? Pattabhiraman, this is for you, 5 seconds.
Pass.
Passing. Lucky, do you have an answer of your own?
Passing.
That's 10 minus 5. Not trying. There's nobody on the buzzer, and you'll really regret missing this. Does anybody want to try? Not for points.
Is it inclusiveness? I don't.
Is it corporate sustainable something like that? In the case?
Corporate sustainable something. Okay, no. You really regret missing this. I was hoping somebody will get this. The answer that I was looking for. So CSR is corporate social responsibility. CSI is corporate social irresponsibility. And which is why the question said, CSI, such as the use of child labor and polluting facilities. You didn't have to think too much and be creative about coming up with some expansion of the acronym. It was right there for the taking, but unfortunately nobody took it. So we'll move on to Lucky now. Lucky, you're direct, and Pattabhiraman, you're paired with him. Here's my question, Lucky, for you. In 2013, British graphic designer Peter Saville was given the carte blanche to redesign their iconic apparel on the occasion of its 80th anniversary. The brief was, just don't touch the logo. Saville digitally shattered their logo, abstracting it to a collection of bunch of squiggly shapes, which you see here in the visual, which went on to adorn limited edition apparel. Which brand is this, Lucky?
Yeah, I'll take this. I can answer it.
Sure, please.
I'll go with Lacoste.
Pattabhiraman, do you accept, reject, pass?
I'll pass.
You'll pass. All right. The answer that I was looking for, Lucky says Lacoste is. So this is what I said when I said that, he digitally shattered their logo, abstracting it to a collection of various squiggly shapes like this. That's the answer. It is indeed Lacoste. Absolutely. That's well done there, Lucky. Good answer gets you a 10. And Pattabhiraman, since you let it go, you don't get any points for that. But that's 10 points there to Lucky. That's very well done. It is indeed done. So what I did in this question was the ones that most closely resembled the squiggly shape that most closely resembled Lacoste. I removed that and I let the other ones be, which were squigglier than others, right? And but that didn't fool Lucky. Well done there, Lucky. Okay, moving on to our next question. That's going to be for our next pair, Pranav and Shantanu. Pranav, you go first. Shantanu, you're paired with him. Pranav, you can put the phone aside. You can unmute yourself. Here's my question for you, Pranav. Peter Diamandis, the founder of the X Prize, Ted Cruz, Texas Senator, and Neil deGrasse Tyson, American TV personality and astrophysicist, among others, have all voiced their opinion about who they think will be the world's first trillionaire, a mining mogul of a particular kind. In 2012, Diamandis found a company for the same purpose, but when the Trump administration canceled the ARM mission, he sold the company because it became infeasible. What is the source of riches being talked about? The world's first trillionaire.
I will. If I answer incorrectly, I'll get next, right?
That's right. You'll get a negative. Quick, 3 seconds.
I'll pass.
You'll pass.
Yeah.
Shantanu, do you have an answer of your own? Plus 10, minus 5.
So do you want the answer to be very specific or?
Just tell me source of riches that are being talked about for this trillionaire. Quick, I need an answer now.
I'll try to attempt it.
Okay, what's your answer?
So this will be the mining that will happen in extra Earth of the planets. For example, Musk is going to Mars, so occupying land over there and selling that land or mining over at extraplanetary bodies like Mars is the source of riches.
All right, extraterrestrial bodies like Mars. I'll move the question now to on the buzzer to Lucky.
Yeah, my guess was cryptocurrency, Bitcoin mining, and so on. That kind of.
That is incorrect. So that's a minus 5 to Lucky. I'll move on to the next one on the buzzer, and that's Pattabhiraman.
This is about mining in asteroids.
Is correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. That's well done there, Pattabhiraman. It is indeed asteroid mining, right? So that's the kind of mogul in question. In this case, Shantanu, because ARM essentially expands to asteroid redirect mission, okay, I will not give you a negative. I'll use my discretion, Shantanu, because you said extraterrestrial bodies, but I was looking for asteroid. You didn't say asteroid, you said Mars and others, but because I also gave ARM, I won't give you points, but I won't give you negatives either. But I will give 5 points to Pattabhiraman. That is correct. A minus 5 to Lucky, and that's about it. Plus 5 Pattabhiraman, minus 5 Lucky, and that's about it. So essentially, what they were trying to say was that if you know the world's first trillionaire will actually come from asteroid mining. Those are the riches those are the minerals and resources that one can hope to extract from there should they have trillionaire ambitions. This question was brought to you by our partner. This program is powered by Manage Engine. 5 points for Pattabhiraman, minus 5 Lucky. We'll move on to the next one. That's a direct to Shantanu. All right, Shantanu, here's my question for you. Pranav, you're paired with him, others on the buzzer. The first time this was awarded was in 1926. In 1936, the 3-tier of unanimous collegiate system was introduced. And in 2005, it reached America. What loss-making publication is being talked about that the parent company buckets under experiences and describe as it remains an unrivaled vehicle for promoting our brand and its premium positioning? What loss-making publication is being talked about? Shantanu, 3 seconds. Okay, no answer. So that's a pass. Question passes to Pranav.
Can I answer this?
Yes, please. Plus 10, minus 5.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with the Michelin review guide.
The what? Sorry?
The Michelin review guide.
What is it about?
It's about like rating food restaurants. They give Michelin star system, right, for different restaurants.
Is correct. That's the answer. That's well done, Pranav. 10 points to you. It is indeed the Michelin guide. I also said the 3-tier, right? So they give 3 stars and all of that, right? Anirudh was on the buzzer, but it doesn't pass to him. Pranav takes it before it could go to Anirudh. So that's 10 points to Pranav. Well done. Moving on to our final pair. Are we? Yes. Next up is for Anirudh and Sai. Anirudh, if you can unmute. Okay. Anirudh, this is your direct. Sai Karthik, you're paired with him. Here's my question for Anirudh. Launched in 2016, by what rewarding name is the online platform for agricultural commodities in India that facilitates farmers, traders, and buyers with online trading and commodities known as? It says Uttam Fasal, Uttam blank. Just fill in the blank for me. What rewarding name? 3 seconds, Anirudh. Okay, no answer. So that's a pass. Sorry, are you saying something?
I'll pass it.
You're passing. Sai Karthik, do you have an answer?
No, pass.
No answer. So I will move on to Lucky, who's on the buzzer. Yes, Lucky.
It says Uttam Fasal, so I believe the second one should also start with F. So Faida.
Uttam Fasal, Uttam Faida.
Faida.
Right. So my question says launched in 2016 by what rewarding name? The reward here is an inam. Right. So that's the rewarding name in question. Uttam Fasal, Uttam Inam. It's the National Agricultural Market. I tried to put in that rewarding there to maybe make sense of this, but it didn't work out for Lucky. That's a negative -5 for you, Lucky, and nothing to anybody else. Final question to Sai Karthik. Sai Karthik, you're direct. Anirudh, you're paired with him. Here's my question. This author has multiple books in his Blue Zone series. Researching for the books requires him to visit multiple places to confirm his theory of dietary habits being responsible for the blue zones. Sardo bread and pressed coffee from Sardinia, papaya salad from Nicoya Peninsula, Costa Rica, Goya and turmeric tea, Okinawa, Japan. My question is, what are blue zones?
So if I'll try it out.
Sure,
So,
+10, -5.
So blue zones are typically your seafood, basically water bodies.
Don't say too much. Don't say too much. You said seafood.
Yeah.
Okay, seafood. Anirudh, accept, reject, pass. Quick. You'll pass it. Okay, that is incorrect, Sai Karthik. That's a -5. Question passes to Pranav.
Yeah, so these are places where the average life expectancy is like very high. So Okinawa in Japan, like the average life expectancies are like 100+. So he just wanted to know like what are the life extending foods these people eat there, and like he has prepared I think a cookbook of sorts out of that.
Is perfect. That's the answer. Well done. These are all regions where people supposedly live longer than average. So he wanted to figure out what is it that they eat that makes them live so long. And those were some of the, I gave you the map where some of those places are. So if anybody is interested to live long enough, perhaps those are places that you could go to and try out their foods. And this person in question is Dan Buettner. He wrote the Blue Zone series of books. Well, that brings us to the end of round 2. It was a fairly entertaining first half, lots of questions passing around, people not really taking their direct, but taking somebody else's direct and giving answers. But let's see if the momentum sustains towards the second half of this quiz. We're on to round 3 now. Now, this round is called Challengers Deep. I will be giving one question to each participant. The first one will be for Shantanu. The sixth one will be for Anirudh. Shantanu, here's my question for you. Others are on the buzzer. In the list of the richest 10 individuals in green energy, at number 1 is Elon Musk, and at number 2 is Robin Zeng with $38 billion. Robin is the founder of Contemporary Amperex Technology Limited, a Fujian, China-based company founded in 2011. With a 32.5% share, it is the world's largest manufacturer of what? That's one part of the question. And the second part of the question is, who is CATL's biggest client? You have a challenge coming, Shantanu, from Pranav. What do you want to do? I need both answers. There are no part points.
I'll let Pranav answer.
Okay, Pranav, go for it.
Yeah, so they're the largest manufacturers of lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles, and CATL's biggest client is Tesla itself.
So lithium-ion batteries, and the biggest client is Tesla, the company of the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, Tesla itself. That is absolutely perfect there, Pranav. Very well done. It is lithium-ion batteries that they make for EVs, and their biggest client is Tesla itself. Absolutely well done there, Pranav. A full 10-pointer for you, a deserving 10-pointer for you. And this question was brought to you by our partners. This program is powered by Manage Engine. Right. We'll move on to our next question. That will be a direct one to Pattabhiraman. Here's my question, Pattabhiraman, for you, others on the buzzer. At the turn of the millennium, this three-letter acronymous policy was created, and it took 5 years for it to become an act. The first instance of something similar in the world was on a Caribbean island in the 1940s. As of January 22, 268 of these were operational in India, but in 2018, the Ministry of Commerce came up with a report to reform them. And now, after intending to scrap it this year, the center has come up with another 4-letter act to provide the earlier act greater flexibility. Give both. You can just give me, the two acronyms. You have a challenge coming from Shantanu.
I'll let Shantanu answer it.
All right, Shantanu, what's your answer?
The 3-letter acronym would be SEZ, Special Economic Zones, and the replacement would be the DESH Act, DESH, Enterprise and Services Hub, that has come up recently.
All right. He gave the acronyms, he gave the expansions, and what do I give? I give him 10 points. That is absolutely brilliant there, Shantanu. Very well done. Special economic zones. The first of them came up in Puerto Rico, hoping for investments from the US. And the SEZ Act is kind of reformed or being replaced by something that's called the DESH Act, or Development of Enterprise and Service Hubs. Very well identified there by Shantanu, our defending champion from Mumbai, an emphatic argument in his case for defense. And this question was brought to you by our title sponsor, Union Bank of India. It's well done there, Shantanu. 10 points for you. Next question now will be for Pranav. If you can unmute also, Pranav. Here's my question. PetroChina, November 2007, Apple, August 2018, Amazon, September 2018, Microsoft, April 2019, Alphabet, January 2020, Facebook, June 21, Tesla, October 21. This is an exhaustive list, except for one company, which should have been included in December 2019, but isn't due to its unique status. My question, what is this list? And tell me the missing company. You have a challenge coming from Anirudh.
Right. I will give the challenge. I'll let Anirudh answer.
All right, Anirudh, he's rejecting the challenge. What's your answer?
My answer would have been Walmart, and because it's a family-owned business rather than the others, which are probably public owned. So this is under a family, so there isn't no. It's most valuable.
So this is a list of companies under a family.
Most valuable companies, but Walmart is because it's a family-owned company. It doesn't.
Okay. Most valuable companies, and Walmart is missing. All right, that is not correct. So I will move the question back. I will move the question back to Pranav. Okay. What's your answer? No negatives. 5 points if you want.
So I'm guessing this is about the market capitalization, and the missing company is Saudi Aramco. So I think they all became like the most, like in history, they are the most, or like they broke the 1 trillion market cap. So this was like when they broke the 1 trillion market cap. Since Saudi Aramco is owned by the Saudi government, so I think that is the reason why they are like not in this list or something like that.
So why are you discriminating against the Saudi government if it's owned by the Saudi government?
Come again?
You said because it's owned by the Saudi government, so it's not there in the list. So why?
No, I mean it's not so. I think the others are all like, I think the IPO process is one for some very minor, small part of the share were given as part of the IPO. So I'm guessing it's like majoritarily owned by the Saudi government, and so it's not exactly a public traded company per se.
Can you do a summation in like one sentence?
Okay. Missing company is Saudi Aramco, and the list is these are the dates when these respective companies hit the 1 trillion market cap benchmark, when they crossed or whenever they hit it. And Saudi Aramco is not in this list because they are government majority owned company. And
okay, well, your reason for that Saudi Aramco is not quite correct, but that wasn't for points. What was for points is what is this, the list of which you said when they hit $1 trillion valuation. And what is the missing company? You said Saudi Aramco. That is correct.
Oh,
well done there, Pranav. That gets you 5 points. But the reason is nothing to discriminate against the Saudi government. But in this case, but because when it was listed with a $1.7 trillion valuation. All the others eventually arrived at $1 trillion. It was listed itself at a 1.7. Right. So that was the answer that I was looking for. Well done, Pranav. 5 points to you. And Anirudh, that's a -5 for you for Walmart and family. That wasn't the list. Right. Let's move on to the next one. That's Lucky. Lucky, if you can unmute.
Yep.
Here's my question, Lucky. Taxation leads to brands and people presenting themselves in an unusual manner. In the late 1990s, a confectionery brand faced the classification issue when they argued their brand to be X in Y coating and thus in the 10% bracket, while the tax authorities claimed the brand to be Y with X inside and thus in 20% bracket. Eventually, Mumbai Customs Tribunal declared it to be X. My question is, what brand and what are X and Y? You have a challenge coming from Pattabhiraman.
I'll let him on.
Okay, Pattabhiraman, what's your answer? Which brand?
The brand is Nestle KitKat. X and Y are chocolate covering on the wafer inside.
Chocolate covering and wafer inside. So you're saying X in Y coating will be?
Sorry?
X in Y coating.
Wafer with chocolate covering.
Coating. And Y with X inside would be?
Chocolate with wafer inside. Yeah.
Is perfect. That is correct. That's the answer. It is Nestle KitKat wafer in chocolate coating or chocolate with wafer inside. So that was the struggle. And as you can see on bottom right of the image, it says coated wafer. Right. So eventually Nestle or KitKat prevailed in this case. So they eventually won it, and it's now a coated wafer. That's well done, Pattabhiraman. Gets you a full 10-pointer. Good answer there. 10 points for you. Next question will be a direct to Sai Karthik. Sai Karthik, here's my question for you. Others on the buzzer. Designed by Aeronautical Development Agency in collaboration with HAL, the one on the left, fighter jet, whose name means courage or strength, has 3 production models: Mark 1, Mark 1A, and Trainer. It is India's second indigenous fighter jet, after the 1960s fighter aircraft on the right that was named after a deity who lends their name to an automotive manufacturer. Give me the 2 5-lettered aircrafts. You have a challenge coming from Shantanu.
I'll let Shantanu answer.
All right, Shantanu, go for it.
Okay, I'll guess with Tejas and Indra being the 2 aircrafts in question.
Sorry, Tejas and?
Indra.
Okay, that is incorrect. That's a -5, Shantanu. Question goes back to Sai Karthik.
Okay. One is Tejas and another would be Maruti. Like,
I'll give that to you. That is correct.
Yeah.
It is Tejas and Marut, right? Which is the name for which deity, Sai Karthik?
Hanuman. Yeah, Lord Hanuman.
That is correct. And the automotive manufacturer there being Maruti Suzuki. That's well done, Sai Karthik. Gets you a 5 as a result. And Shantanu, since you only gave me half the answer, I have to give you a negative. I tried to help you with the second part of the question when I said that also the name of an automotive manufacturer. Shantanu picked Indra. Should have perhaps thought a little more about that, and you can see the regret in his expression now. But anyway, that's a negative for Shantanu, -5 to you, Sai Karthik, +5 for you. Final question coming up for Anirudh. Here's my question for you. For Amazon, from 2011 to 2021, the cost of what has increased from 18% of net sales to 32% of net sales. In absolute numbers, the increase is 40 times that of 2009 levels. But the reason why Amazon isn't a struggler is because of what vertical, accounting for over 50% of their operating profits, but only 13% of their sales. So two-part question, the cost of what has increased significantly, 40x that of 2009 levels, and but they're not a struggler because there is some vertical of theirs which accounts for over 50% of their operating profits. So there's no challenge coming, Anirudh. You can give me an answer, 10 points if you're right, no negatives, still open on the buzzer. 5 seconds.
I would go with the cloud services, AWS services, which they have, Amazon Web Services. The cloud
as the
services.
first part or the second part?
The cost of all the cloud, the infrastructure costs have risen, and it's still not a struggler because the Amazon Web Services is the operating is basis the vertical accounting.
Okay, so AWS is the second part, and the first part is
the infrastructure cost for maintaining a data server and data whatever infrastructure.
All right, that is not correct. Does anybody else want to take it? Not for points.
I think it's probably AWS and Prime Video. Possibly.
Okay, no, that's not correct.
All
right, the answer.
Is this with points or?
No, just.
I think I can take a guess. I think the first part is transportation cost. Second part is obviously AWS.
That was correct. So it's essentially shipping cost that has increased 40 times the level of 2009, and predominantly with all the supply chain issues and all of that. And this is AWS. So because AWS has done so well, Amazon and struggling do not really, the two words don't really come in one sentence. But that's the answer that I was looking for. No points to anyone on that question.
I thought there was a
connection. That wraps up the penultimate round. For some of you, victory is becoming more and more elusive. But you have to keep believing, for if you don't, even those fading tracks of optimism might be extinguished for good. We'll throw some light on the scoreboard, but that's after the break. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to BusinessLine Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2022. Moving towards the final round, we're taking one last look at the scoreboard. And at this point, we have Sai Karthik from Axis Bank and Anirudh from TCS. Both of them currently joint 5th at this point. And then is Shantanu Sharma, defending champion from Mumbai, currently placed 4th with a score of 20. Then is Lucky Call from IIM Ahmedabad, currently 3rd with a score of 25. And it's turning out to be a 2-man race at this point with some distance ahead. In 2nd place, our leader, when we checked the scores the last time around, he's fallen slightly behind, but not too much, is Pattabhiraman from HCL. He is at 44. And currently leading is Pranav Hari from BCG with a score of 50. Right, so those are the scores heading into the final round. A lot can happen in that last round. Let's proceed. This round is called Shoot Up. Good luck, everyone. Let's start. First question, common to everyone, for 4 and -5. In consumer behavior, what 5-lettered word on the buzzer is lucky?
Yeah, this is the decoy effect.
What is it about?
So basically, you price the larger one higher so that people end up buying the medium. It's like a psychological thing that I don't know the exact order. It's called decoy strategy, 5 letters.
My question, in consumer behavior, what 5-lettered word is used for a pricing strategy where a consumer is introduced with 3 sizing variants of the same product and the value offered pushes him to shift from the smallest offering to upwards? So Lucky is given 2 consecutive incorrect answers before this, but he's turned out to be 3rd time lucky. That is correct. Excuse the bad pun. Well done. 4 points there to Lucky. Good answer. Keeping the fight alive. He was 3rd before we started this round. He's still 3rd though, but he's reducing the difference there with that answer. 4 points to Lucky. We'll move on to our next question. That's also for 4 points. This 1989 ad campaign was not just on the buzzer. Is Shantanu?
I would say this is the original Cadbury campaign. So cricket wala, जिसमें the player comes in the cricket Cadbury campaign. The player is sitting.
That is incorrect. That's a -5. On the buzzer after him is Anirudh Datta.
I'll go with the Britannia campaign, the Ting 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 campaign.
Is also incorrect. There's one more buzzer left. I'll complete my question. This 1989 ad campaign was not just a jingle, but an anthem that stirred a collective aspirational consciousness of the nation. It was created by Lintas, now Mullenlow Lintas, under the leadership of, we have Sai Karthik, who's on the buzzer. Yes, Sai.
Go with Mile Sure Hai Tumhara. That's
Milesur Mira Tumhara is also incorrect. So that's a -5 to Shantanu, -5 to Anirudh, -5 to Sai Karthik. Sure, go for it.
Yeah, I think because it's jingle, I think it's Uncle Chips probably. It's not.
Okay, that is not correct, but no
Is
negative.
this
Hamara Bajaj, I think.
I'll complete my question. The lyrics were penned by Jayakirat Rawat and was composed by Louis Banks, a well-known writer of jingles. The lyrics and jingle are now part of advertising lore. Which campaign is this? Finally, you get it right, but not for points. This is Buland Bharat Ki Buland Tasveer Hamara Bajaj. Right, that's what I was looking for. So negatives for Shantanu, Anirudh, and Sai Karthik. All 3 of you get a -5. Clearly not an easy question. Oh dear, perhaps a bit of pressure off the scoreboard and the intent to register a presence closer to the leaders. But we'll move on to slightly more difficult questions. Unfortunately, I can't be making a life easier, only make it more difficult with more difficult questions coming up. All right, now for 2 more questions coming for 7 points each. Negative remains constant, a -5. Here's my next question. Excerpt from Ukrainian Dargai's interview, but Shantanu's already gone for it on the buzzer. Yes, Shantanu.
So she is the intimacy coordinator or intimacy expert. If you want, I can explain it further.
Sure, go ahead.
So for example, Geraia had some intimate / sex scenes and it becomes difficult for the actors to shoot because of the obvious complications. So her job is to make those scenes go smooth and it doesn't become awkward for people on the stage, on board.
All right, I'll complete. So she said, I don't want to sound cheesy, but it was one of my favorite experiences ever because when you have the right people on board and professionals who believe in what they are doing and what they are doing and why they are doing it, it is then that the magic starts. What job did she do in the film Geraia? Your answer is intimacy expert or intimacy coordinator. That is correct. She was the intimacy director, to be specific, but that's all right. Good answer there, Shantanu. Gets you a +7. Got a negative on the last one, so it was important for you to start getting some positives. Otherwise, I will eliminate participants, which I will. After the next question, which is coming up. So if you're not within touching distance or 30 points of the leader after the next question, I will be left with no choice but to eliminate you because mathematically it's not really possible for you to win this quiz, and we're only looking for one winner, as I've repeatedly said during the course of this quiz. Let's move on. Question number 4, also for 7 points. -5 is if incorrect. This is Lee Kun-hee at the 2013 20-year celebration of the Frankfurt Declaration that is set to change the fortunes of the company. There were 2 key declarations that were made by Lee at Frankfurt in a meeting with his company's senior executives. Number 1, work as if in perpetual crisis. And number 2, change everything except what? And since nobody's on the buzzer, I'll give you more hints. It's something that you can see in the visual also. He said, work as if in perpetual crisis and change everything except what? And nobody's gone for it on the buzzer. So not for points, but does anybody want to look at the visual and tell me what did he say? The Samsung head, Lee Kun-hee.
Traditions.
Change everything. No, you can see it in the visual. You can't see tradition in the visual.
Except the blue color of Samsung.
Except blue color. Change everything except blue. No.
Don't change
The
his mic.
succession line probably. The person becomes the next in command will become the chair, something of that kind.
No, actually, it's not a very corporate-y or businessy answer. Something else.
Woman can't become the
Sorry?
A lady can't head the business or something like that. Yeah.
No, like I said, it's not a corporate or business-related answer. Okay, you don't really have to squint about if there's anything written. It's pretty evident if you can make sense of it. So he said, 2 key declarations that were made. One was work as if in perpetual crisis. And he also said, change everything except your wife and children, right? Or family. Right? So that's what I was looking for. That's what he said. One, business advice, which was work as if in perpetual crisis. And the second one, change everything except your wife and children or family. So that was the answer, unfortunately not given by anyone. So 4 questions done. All right, let's move on. Next one, number 5, that's for +10 and -5. My question. While this cosmetic item has been used for centuries, it was originally available as vibrant dyes until an Arab cosmetologist created a solid form. And then they became available as rouge sold in pots. On the buzzer is Pranav.
This guess, I'm going to guess Kajal.
Is incorrect. I will complete. And then they became available as rouge sold in pots and wrapped in paper. While the first usage of the term was in the 1880s, it only became popular 3 decades later when a Connecticut-based hardware company created the container in which this cosmetic is most popularly sold, that a couple of years later was followed by a patent for a brass container to hold it. Which cosmetic is this? On the buzzer is Pattabhiraman.
It's a lipstick.
Why would you say lipstick?
Because of the container stuff.
Because of the container. So it's a brass container. And till before that, it was available as a rouge that was sold in pots and wrapped in paper. And then somebody created a brass container. So that's where you get the stick part of the lipstick. Absolutely. That's the answer, Pattabhiraman. Very well done. Very well worked out there. Good answer. Gets you a +10. Lovely answer there. And this question was brought to you by our associate sponsor, Grey On. That's a 10-pointer for Pattabhiraman and a -5. A crucial, perhaps reversal in fortunes between the 2 leaders, Pattabhiraman and Pranav Hari. Pattabhiraman, you get a +10. And Pranav, you get a -5 for saying Kajal. I was looking for lipstick. So essentially, the tables have turned. Pranav, who was leading before I asked this question, is now trailing, and Pattabhiraman, who was trailing before I asked this question, is now leading. However, the difference isn't too much. It still is a make or break question. It's Pattabhiraman from HCL versus Pranav Hari from Boston Consulting Group. The equation is very simple. Pranav, you hit the buzzer, you get it, you qualify. Pattabhiraman, if he doesn't get it, you qualify. Or you can hit the buzzer and, steal it away from him. That option is there. Okay. All right. So it's a fight between the two P's, Pranav and Pattabhiraman. Here's my question, the final one. The original project report included 5 indicators for 133 economies and was published in 2003 by these economists when they first got together to write another report in 2002 called Building Institutions for Market. They approached their report from the point of view of a hypothetical firm with 60 employees in each economy's largest business city, that is 100% domestically owned, and exports constituting more than 10% of its sales. My question is, what World Bank project that was discontinued last year but continues domestically in India is this? 7 seconds, Pranav or Pattabhiraman. Lucky, we'll wait for you to give an answer. And the time is up. I don't have any answer, any interest by either Pranav or Pattabhiraman, so I'll go to Lucky. Lucky, let's see if you can end it on a high.
Yeah, you said discontinued last year in World Bank, so let's go for ease of doing business.
And continues domestically in India. Absolutely well done there, Lucky. That's a +10 for you. Good answer. So this is the ease of doing business. So this was Simeon Jankov, Michael Klein, and Carolee McLeish. Those were the 3 economists from World Bank who came together for Building Institutions for Market and then decided to work together again for the ease of doing business report, which had a run of 18 years till it was discontinued last year, perhaps controversially. But that question was brought to you by our title sponsor, Union Bank of India. And with that 10-pointer for Lucky, that brings us to the end. That's what Mumbai was about. That's why Mumbai has the big reputation. At every sighting of the points, there were points that were scored. And so the final piece in the jigsaw puzzle of the national final lineup has been identified. But we will take a break now. And on the other side lies the final scoreboard and our national finalists. Stay with us. Welcome back. The final scoreboard for you at the Mumbai Regional Final. Oh, what a fabulous performance by all these 6 participants, but there could only have been one winner. We'll get to him in a bit, but we'll congratulate all 6 of these participants. In joint 5th place are Sai Karthik from Axis Bank and Anirudh Datta from TCS, both of them having a tough day in office, finishing with 5 points each. Then in 4th place, our defending champion from Mumbai last year, unfortunately, will not be a part of the national final this year, is Shantanu Sharma with a score of 22. Then in 3rd place, some fine answers coming from him, but he did collect a few negatives on the way, and perhaps those were a little bit costly for him. With a score of 39 is Lucky Call from IIM Ahmedabad. And amongst the top 2, we saw the battle ebbed and flowed, was a roller coaster till the penultimate question when he missed in the one that he was competing with. Gaurav tried to add insult to injury. He was there in the regional final last year, but from Chennai. He's here in the regional final this year. And both years he stood runner-up is Pranav Hari from Boston Consulting Group. And finally, our winner, you saw him win with some heart-stopping moments. He started strong, ended strong, had some luck along the way with others giving wrong answers. With a score of 54 points, our winner is Pattabhiraman from HCL Technologies. Congratulations, Pattabhiraman, a mighty fine victory and very well done To the rest of you, stayed hot on his heels all day long. But Pattabhiraman was the sky no one from Mumbai could scrape. Finally, a big thank you to all our sponsors. The title sponsor, Union Bank of India, is powered by Manage Engine, our writing instruments partner, Parker Pen by Luxor Group, and associate sponsor, Gray On. With that, all 6 of our regional finals have come to an end, and so we look forward to a time when the finalists will not only dream great dreams, but also dare to live those dreams. I'll see you at Mumbai, the season ender, the biggest stage, the national final beckons. Goodbye and Jai Hind.